As she entered the room, she met the once tall and vibrant man, now frail, broken and bedridden. "Who is that?" he whispered, as he felt the presence of someone strange. After Mr. Nna's crimes were exposed and he was sentenced to life imprisonment, his wife, Mrs. Chinyere, faced a crossroads. She had been a silent observer for years, too afraid to confront the evil that her husband embodied. The revelation of his monstrous deed shattered her world, leaving her in disgrace and isolation. She met Nkechi and Chiamaka and told them how she had looked around the market, hoping to catch a glimpse of them, but all efforts proved abortive. She apologized for her husband's deeds and told them that her daughter abroad also sent her heartfelt apologies and promised to support them with anything whenever the need arises. Nkechi and Chiamaka appreciated her efforts and thanked her for her understanding. While Nkechi and Chiamaka were rebuilding their lives, Mr. Nna, now imprisoned, was grappling with guilt. The once powerful businessman now sat in a cold, stark cell, reflecting on his actions. Every day he was haunted by the faces of Nkechi, Chiamaka, and little Chisom. He began writing letters, pouring out his regrets and pleading for forgiveness. He sent his first letter to Nkechi, apologizing for his monstrous actions. "I was a wicked man," he wrote. "My power blinded me, and I destroyed your lives. I ask for your forgiveness, though I know I do not deserve it." In another letter he addressed Chiamaka. "Chiamaka, I cannot undo what I have done, but I want you to know I am deeply sorry. I know I am the cause of your pain, but I hope you can one day find peace in your heart. I would like to meet my son Chisom, even if it's just once, so I can beg his forgiveness too." At first, Nkechi and Chiamaka were reluctant to respond. The wounds he had caused were still fresh, and his letters stirred a mix of anger and pity within them. However, they agreed to let him meet Chisom when he was old enough to understand the situation. Years later, as Chisom grew into a bright and curious boy, Nkechi and Chiamaka decided it was time to share his story with him. They explained how his existence was a testament to their strength and resilience. Chisom listened, tears welling down his cheeks. He expressed a desire to meet his father, and Nkechi arranged for them to visit the prison. The meeting was emotional. Mr. Nna, now a shadow of his former self, broke down upon seeing his son. "Chisom, I have no right to call myself your father," he said, his voice trembling. "But I hope you can forgive me for the pain I caused your mother and grandmother." Chisom, wise beyond his years, responded with quiet dignity he had inherited from his mother and grandmother. "I forgive you," he said, "but I will never forget the strength of my family." For Mr. Nna, the forgiveness of his son was a glimmer of redemption, while for Nkechi and Chiamaka, it was another step towards healing. As they left the prison, Mr. Nna arranged another meeting with his lawyer and Chisom, and Chiamaka followed him there, and he handed some documents containing parts of his properties he had willed to Chisom, while his wife and daughter abroad would take the rest. He continued his jail term, his hope hanging on the air, as he prayed to be released by pardon. Nkechi and Chiamaka continued to thrive. Chiamaka's work as a lawyer brought justice to many others who had suffered in silence. Nkechi, now a successful entrepreneur, opened a foundation for widows and single mothers, offering them the support she had once needed but never received. Chisom, inspired by his family's resilience, excelled in school, determined to honor their sacrifices Together they proved that no matter how dark the night, hope and love could light the way forward. Although Chiamaka's work brought her recognition and fulfillment, her heart remained guarded, a result of the trauma she had endured. Nkechi often prayed for her daughter's happiness, knowing that love could heal wounds. Time alone could not. One day, during a human rights seminar, Chiamaka met Emeka, a kind-hearted young man and a fellow lawyer with a passion for justice. His easy smile and gentle demeanor made her feel at ease in a way she hadn't in years. As they worked together on a case advocating for abused children, Emeka's respect and admiration for Chiamaka grew. "You have an incredible strength, Chiamaka," he told her one evening. "Your story inspires me, and it's clear that your son is lucky to have you as a mother." His words warmed Chiamaka's heart, and over time, their shared values and mutual respect blossomed into love. When Emeka proposed to Chiamaka, it was a simple yet heartfelt moment. "Chiamaka," he said, holding her hands, "you have faced unimaginable pain and emerged stronger. I want to be by your side to create a life filled with joy, love, and hope for you and Chisom. Will you marry me?" Tears welled in Chiamaka's eyes as she nodded, whispering yes. Chiamaka told her mother about Emeka's proposal, and Nkechi was happy for her daughter. She gave her consent, and as they prepared to get married, Nkechi told Emeka and Chiamaka that they have to inform her late husband's family, even though they have not been there for her during tough times. Their custom and traditions demanded she do the right thing. Emeka agreed, and they made arrangements to travel to her late husband's village. As they arrived, her in-laws welcomed her cheerfully. She made their intention known and introduced Emeka to them. Upon seeing how successful they have become, they began to apologize for their ill treatment towards her and her daughter years ago. "You have done noble, our wife," one elder said. "We are sorry for everything and for what Ike did to you and your daughter," another one added. Talking about Ike, Nkechi asked, "How is he and where is he now?" The elder sighed, looking at the other elder, who then gave him a signal to go ahead. Ike had been sick with a strange ailment that has defied treatment, he said. He had been in that room for 2 years, bedridden and waiting for when to join his ancestors, the other elder said, pointing at an old building. "What about his wife, Informa?" Nkechi asked. Informa had long left him and returned to her personal home. "You know she couldn't bear a child for him, but we heard she remarried and had a child with her new husband," the elder replied her. Nkechi's late husband's elder brother, Ike, who had thrown her and her daughter out of their home and was enjoying the fruit of another man's labor, suddenly began to suffer from an inexplicable illness. His health deteriorated rapidly, despite his efforts to seek medical attention. Doctors were baffled, unable to pinpoint the cause of his suffering. He had long mismanaged his late brother's business and squandered everything until nothing is left. He sold their household properties and the house he took from them to afford expensive treatment. But even after draining all the resources that did not belong to him, his health showed no signs of improvement. Consumed by guilt and fear, Ike had a revelation. Perhaps his suffering was tied to the injustice he had committed. He thought of looking for Nkechi and Chiamaka to seek for their forgiveness, but had no idea of where he could find them. With no other hope left, he returned to the village for native treatment, but his health kept on deteriorating. Nkechi felt pity for him and asked to see him. As she entered the room, she met the once tall and vibrant man, now frail, broken, and bedridden. "Who is that?" he whispered, as he felt the presence of someone strange. "It's me, Nkechi, your late brother's wife," she replied. "You mean Nkechi, Chiamaka's mom?" he asked. "Yes," she replied. "Forgive me, Nkechi," he pleaded, tears streaming down his face. "I wronged you and your daughter and took everything that was yours. My greed and arrogance have led me to this. Please find it in your heart to forgive me so I may find peace," he begged. Nkechi, though deeply hurt, held her composure. Her eyes softened with her daughter by her side. She spoke firmly with grace. "Forgiveness is not easy, but I will give it to you, because holding on to hate will only burden me and my family. But know this, you must also make amends for what you have done." Ike thanked her and promised to use the rest of his life to seek redemption. They left for the city, and Emeka prepared to come with his kinsmen for a proper introduction and traditional marriage. Their wedding was a small, intimate ceremony attended by close friends, family, and colleagues. Nkechi's heart swelled with pride as she watched her daughter walk down the aisle, radiant and confident. After the wedding, Chiamaka and Emeka built a home filled with love and laughter. Emeka embraced Chisom as his own son, teaching him values of kindness and resilience. Together, they created a supportive and nurturing environment, ensuring that Chisom grew up with the security and love Chiamaka had always dreamed of providing him. For Nkechi, seeing her daughter find love and happiness was the greatest reward for her years of sacrifice. She often spent time with her grandson and watching Chiamaka flourish in her new life. Nkechi also became a source of strength for women in the community, sharing her story to inspire others to overcome adversity. "I survived because of my daughter," Nkechi would often say, "and now she's creating a world where no one else has to endure what we did." Chiamaka continued her work as a lawyer, while Emeka supported her unconditionally. Their shared passion for justice often brought them together in the courtroom, where they fought for the voiceless and marginalized. Years later, as Chisom prepared to leave for the university, Chiamaka and Emeka welcomed a new addition to their family, a beautiful baby girl named Amarachi, meaning God's grace. Chiamaka, holding her daughter in her arms, felt a sense of completeness she had never thought possible. Life wasn't perfect, but it was filled with love, purpose, and hope. The scars of the past remained, but they were a testament to the strength that had brought them to this point. As Chiamaka watched her children grow and thrive, and as she continued her fight for justice, she knew she had truly overcome the darkness. With Emeka by her side and Nkechi's unwavering support, she had built a life filled with meaning and joy. And so Chiamaka, Emeka, Nkechi, Chisom, and little Amarachi lived happily ever after, their lives a testament to resilience, love, and enduring power of hope. This ending ties together the threads of struggle, triumph, and healing, while giving Chiamaka and her family the happiness they deserve. I hope you enjoyed this story that has so many moral lessons. Comment what you have learned below. Please support the channel by liking the video, share to your friends and family, and please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more. Thanks and God bless you. See you in the other videos.